Your most profound spiritual experience while in Argentina?
I've not told this one to very many people at all. Probably, I don't even know if my kids will know it. So when they hear it, they'll. We were, there was three of us. Normally it's just two of you, but we happened to be three of us at that point. I had one guy from Argentina and one guy from America. They were new, and so I was training them. And we'd had a rough day. Everything had gone wrong that day. Like the appointments had all been canceled. And so we're just like, let's just go back to the pension, which is the apartment. Let's go back to the pension and let's just call it a day. And as we cross this road, we see this old man, just old and dirty, and clothes are all tattered, long hair, head down, beard, just old bum, like just what you would think is a bum. So he's crossing the road, and we get to the other side and we stop, and we all three look at each other and we're like, oh, do we just go home, or should we turn around and help this guy? What should we do? And so finally we said, let's just go help this guy. So by the time we crossed back across the street, he was trying to get up over the curb and he started to fall, and we got there just in time and we catch him. And so we kept asking him, where are you going? And he was just kind of mumbling. So there was for about 30, 40, maybe 30 yards away, there was a kiosk, which is where it's a little store in the side of a building, somebody's house, where they sell milk and candy and food. And so we start walking towards the kiosk, and it literally takes us 30 minutes or more to walk 30 yards because this guy can't walk. He's just shuffling along. And so by the time we get to this kiosk, the sun has gone down, and now we're standing under this kiosk, much like we are in this room, and there's a light above us. And the guy, none of us had seen the guy's face. And so we asked the kiosk guy, we're like, who is this guy? He says, oh, he lives right over there, just a couple doors down at that house. And we said, well, what does he usually get here? And they said, he gets milk and candles. And we said, okay, well, give us the milk and the candles. So we're standing there, and he looks up, and it's the face of Christ.
Whoa.
Clean, clear, doesn't say anything. And I look at the other two guys with me, and we just looked at each other, and we were just like, what are we seeing? He put his head back down, and we never saw his face again. We took him, we got his candle, we got his milk, and we're freaked out at this point because we're just thinking, well, what did we just go through? I mean, he just locked eyes with me, just looked up, looked at me like this, and looked back down. So we walked this guy over, we put him in this little, we walked through this gate, and in this room was a little storage closet. And this is where he lives. It was no bigger than, he had a chair in the storage closet, a bunch of junk behind him. He had a table with old candles, and we put his milk on his table and his candles. And on the way there, he's like, who are you? We just said, we're just angels from our Lord taking you home. So 2 days later, we show back up. We're knocking on the door, nothing. We asked these kids out playing. We're like, hey, where's the guy that lives here? And they said, oh, he died 2 nights ago.
Can you go back? How many days had passed?
2 days. 2 days. So we had gone, that was like a Monday night. Wednesday we went by his house, and he had died Monday night. And to this day, if I see those two missionaries, every now and then I talk to one of those guys, and we'll always say, do you remember that old guy?
Wow. Wow.
And what it was for me is it taught you a lesson that Christ is in the things that you least expect. God is in the things that you least expect. If you judge a book by its cover, if you see it for the dirtiness and the bum and this and that, you miss the opportunities, you miss where Christ truly is. And for us, in that moment, you realize I'm gonna treat everybody the same, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know who it is.
It's a great lesson, man.
And you can see why I don't tell the story very often. Yeah.
That's profound. Wow.
So things like that, you just have one experience after another that just truly tell you that, God and Jesus Christ live, and it really puts into perspective everything that we deal with in life, which is really what helps me get through my profession, politics. I understand that's not what life is about. Life has a whole different thing. Life is about your relationship with God. You come here, you get a body, and your ability to prove yourself, your ability to show who you are, whether you're going to push through and find the greatness that you have in you, or whether you're not. And the key is, are you going to be distracted by all what life gives you? The bills, the family problems, the jobs, the politics, all the terrible stuff you see in this life. Your job is to realize that's not what's important. What is important, the purpose of this life, is to establish your relationship with God and to develop who you are as a person. And everything else is designed to build that. The experiences you go through build that.
How long did it take you to come to this conclusion?
I've always been a person that's born with faith. Like, I've been a faithful person that knows that God exists and those types of things. But just over time, when you get in and you test your faith and you start to see that there is something on the other side of that, then it becomes less and less faith and more knowledge that these exist. And it's really just a lifetime of it. Now, don't get me wrong, you get those times where life will continue to throw harder and harder things at you, and to really test to see if you can dig down deeper and deeper. And so, yeah, over time, it's just polished up.